Hello and welcome back. Today we'll be playing as Great Britain in Victoria 3. Last episode we sort of flirted with doubling construction up to 10k, but we only plus 50%ed it up to 7,500. This is actually like a pretty comfortable. It's pretty hard to keep up with 10k construction. We also annexed Great Britain, and we've been considering for some time. We've been trying to expand with the stay under 25 principle for a while now, and I think we're going to continue doing that maybe for this episode and the next episode, but after that I think we're going to go up to 1k and just start puppeting all the great powers, this type of thing. And so if we can get involved with useful conflicts with great powers, this is generally a useful thing. For now, we have all these people we're still bankrolling and such, and we're trying to get them as protectorates before we sort of turn the corner, or annex the people who we are currently damaging relationships with, which is quite a lot, which will be relatively low infamy, and it's a war we have to do anyways if we are trying to do a one tag. So for example, if we are just trying to do a world conquest, we don't need to conquer Hybridad, right? We just need to paint the entire map red. But if we're trying to do a one tag, we do need to conquer Hybridad. But one of the things I've noticed is that since you can only declare one war at a time, there's this really unfortunate situation where, you just get bricked when you're trying to go for a world conquest, because all of your subjects will tend to have revolutions, and these revolutions will prevent you from declaring wars. And so having a ton of subjects later on kind of bricks you. And so right now I'm just trying to annex some, keep the infamy low, this sort of thing. But we'll see how things shape up. We'll take an unpause. In the interim, we did put a whole bunch of stuff in the queue. The queue is going to be hard to keep up with, so we're going to be trying to keep hold of that. We have these 3 native uprisings all popping off at once. And we demanded that Occitania give us puppet status, so now we're infamous again. But we'll decay down, especially during this triple play thing that we got going on here, because we cannot declare any wars right now, and so we're forced to just kind of accept this. We could take on their debt if we wanted, but we don't want to. We would want to damage relations, but we don't have the Diplo for it. I think we can still declare one more rivalry. Yeah, we can rival Austria. We have a lot of trade with them. I think we'll hold off on that for now. We'll just remember Occitania as a protectorate. We could always do the stuff later, do the things. You'll notice, since we started really dramatically increasing, the construction, this line has gotten a little bit more vertical. This is generally a good way to think of your GDP growth, is your construction rate. And so upping construction is generally a good thing for that. Maybe today we'll actually go up to 10k construction. But it was an unfulfilled promise last episode. We will, of course, expand all this. We did annex Australia, so we still have all this stuff to do up in there. I think we're putting in railroads everywhere there, too. Yeah, we are. I think we also switched over all of our PMs. We did. So our PMs are all nice and solved. Really think that quality of life feature that I would love to see them put in is, and I'm pretty sure there's a mod for this, and maybe I should get on that, but make it so it swaps to your preferred PM whenever you conquer. I do think there's a mod for this. This is probably something we should be doing. But I don't know, I think that people in general want to view the vanilla game more so than the modded game, but if that is not the case, let me know. I have been trying to keep an eye out for any big mods, and maybe we will try that at some point. 76. Oh wait, wrong 76. Also do want to cut off the coast of the Americas for the memes, which is not very efficient. We would just declare war on them and be okay, we want to take all this coastal land. But we might do that when we decide to turn the corner for infamy, just for funnies. I don't think a world conquest is possible. I think it's too many wars to declare, and we can't declare multiple wars at once. We could certainly get strong enough to fight everyone all at once. If we take a look at our economy here, we have a GDP of 3.8 bill, the next closest is 1.2, or 120 million. And there's only 2 other great powers now. Because our prestige is so much higher, it makes it much harder for them to get into great power status. And yeah, I mean, it's we're just by far, the most powerful. And it's not close. We probably could fight everyone at once. So maybe we want to start actually doing that. Of course, we can't do that now. I believe we have guys assigned to all these fronts. Yeah, we do. I suppose they're not split up very well, but we can do that. Doesn't really matter. Ooh, we get another native uprising. This is fantastic. We're gonna get all these up all at once, it appears. I guess in case one of these generals dies, this is nice to do. But for a while, wasn't doing any colonization in a lot of these places, just trying to colonize faster up here. And then we started colonizing all these places. But it doesn't look like it's colonizing way slower, so maybe I'm mistaken about how colonization worked exactly. Or maybe they changed it. Well, I'm not mistaken, but maybe they changed it, because what it used to be the case is your colonization speed, let's unpause all these. Your colonization speed, you colonized based on just, your colonization rate was constant, and then it was distributed amongst all your colonies, so the more colonies you had, the slower you colonized. But these are all going at a pretty good clip. Maybe there's an absolute minimum of 50 days, and we were doing this inefficiently for some time, which is a bit interesting. The Great Train Smash. So we could give Garim increased popularity is kind of what we're looking at. I don't think we want him to be more popular. We do like this bonus though, so I guess we don't hate it. We want to maintain this bonus. We would like to get the rural folk powerful. Generally, they're pretty hard interest group to get powerful. This is something that I probably didn't discuss enough in one of my videos, but they're just very hard to get up there in power. Crush Iraqi succession. Well, I think that... Actually, no, we don't want Iraq to be separate. We're gonna... On the Ottomans, we're probably gonna turn a corner. Let's just quickly... our construction queue, please. You can't leave it alone for 1 minute, can you? Did we integrate Cordoba? I think we did. Oop. Well, that's fine. These are really, really profitable, which is indicative that I should probably have more dyes. Also have quite a few dyes, so... But you're gonna need a lot more railways as well. So we'll put those at the front. These are not very employed. We'll take this time to downsize them. These are employed. We are trying to specialize in sugar here, so we're trying to maximize throughput bonus on the sugar itself. We do have the agriculture of this stuff to sort out, so I guess we'll kind of start sorting it out. I guess we maybe want you on sugar. Sugar is the most profitable thing. Long term, grain starts being a lot less profitable because a lot of your pops, when the standard of living gets really high, they don't prefer grain, and so livestock ranches become a lot better. Our people only want one thing, and it's fucking tea. But you already have quite a few of these built up. We do want some amount of grain, so we'll just delete and expand. And maybe it's not optimal to delete so many, but we are going to play it that way. And we are trying to set up auto expansion in general. You're not employed at all, so we can kind of just do whatever we want here. Maybe we make it sugar. I mean, our people only want one thing, and it's tea. But why don't we do sugar here? We're doing livestock ranches there. Might as well do wheat here, because I already got some of it, and they are pretty well employed. Don't want to fire more and more pops. Guess we'll do, yeah, we'll do wheat there too. Now South Island, do believe we already auto-expanded all the way on them. I think we'll expand these, put them on auto-expand, and just won't delete the wheat ones because they seem to be fully employed. And so kind of have that handled. I'm going to have to handle a lot of the newer acquired Congo territories. 2 arms, 2 arms, 2 arms. Very happy that all these are happening at once, because we're just going to get to put them all down at once. And this will be a nice, this is very convenient, I think. Because it's avoiding us getting bricked in terms of being able to declare wars. You know, still flirting with the idea of world conquest, even though I don't think we're going to be able to get in it. We can paint the map mostly red, but it's like these pockets of like 7 countries like right here, which like, in order to conquer all this, it's going to take, I don't know, like 6 years or something. And it's just like, but it's only going to take, you know, 6 months of war declaring to conquer Russia or something, because they're likely to back down. Just a situation that's kind of annoying. We probably should not have released Galatia. Just looking in the capital, whatever's auto-expanding, we're just going to add like 22. Because the capital has a bunch of excess infrastructure. Doesn't have level 51 skyscraper anymore. Kappa. We could probably think about what war we want to declare next, but I didn't. Ooh, they want to come into our customs union. So, they were for a very long time cautious with us, and now they've become not cautious. We might even be able to protectorate them. We are infamous, so they will not do protectorate, but if we take a look, we can clear it. Our market is quite large. Everyone's going to leave our market once we go, like, full bad guy. And so this is a reason to not go full bad guy. We are bankrolling them. I guess we're trying to protectorate them? I don't even think it's worth the protectorate, though. So let's stop bankrolling them. We could get them in a customs union, but I think... I mean, what I really want is them to get annexed by Spain. We should have never released them. Oh well. Don't want to ruin the soil. It's all going to be our soil eventually. Industrialist tax avoidance does get deactivated, which is spectacular. We get an obligation from Korea. Of course, we cannot, yeah, because we're infamous, we cannot incorporate them. Let's just try to take a look and find some profitable industries to build. We get universal suffrage, hurrah. I forgot we were even on that. So we're just going to add a smattering of these wherever they are being built. We know that they're fully employed and profitable where they are being built. We'll do that here with these as well. We'll do that with these as well. And with these. And with these, which is nothing. These as well. This is kind of an easy way to... I wish you could set the auto-expander to build like 5 or like much more if you wanted. But you currently can't do that, so there's that. We're running so much excess bureaucracy, which actually is, it's giving us 20 excess, or 2% state construction efficiency, which is, like, not a terrible bonus. It's actually, well, it's not worth it, but it's also not nothing. We could roll back the PMs on some of our things. I hope that if they drop below 4%, that they, because they're in government, they stay. I think that's how this works, but I'm not 100% sure. We are universal suffrage and monarchy, so we are kind of poised. As soon as Elizabeth dies, we're switching to Council Republic, I think, with the intention of going anarchy to get the anarchy in the UK achievement. She's been hanging on. She's 57. You know, she's very, very popular. This Victorian propriety, I'm curious if it applies to her heir. As soon as the heir takes power, in which case, you know, he'd become a lot better, except he has psychological affliction. That's actually a pretty bad one. His other ones are kind of good, but... We're just quickly going to push all these guys and then take all the territory. So, nice to get these all out of the way at the same time, for the most part. We are going to go and expand the resource sectors. I know that lead is expensive, and then we're going to need a lot more in Queensland and South Australia as far as railways go. Yeah, a lot more. Just gonna play a little bit of whack-a-mole here, though. Didn't even realize we had that territory. Oop. Railroad you up. I am starting to lean more into railroads instead of ports, because I think we're getting to the point where we are the market. And so trade becomes less valuable. You know, the more people who are in your market, or a larger percentage of the world's economy that's in your market, yikes, the less useful it becomes to have a lot of convoys, which just maintain your own shipping lanes, but it's not like they're huge. Again, in the home countries, whenever we have an infrastructure thing, we're just gonna fix it and then also add 5 at the end. Could start adding 10 at the end. This way we don't have to play whack-a-mole as much. This is incorporated, so we will also add the 5 extra there. And so we probably won't have to whack-a-mole it too soon coming up. We are expanding construction a little bit in incorporated territories. We're looking to find good territories to incorporate. We found a nice little patch down here in South America where it didn't have too much resources. It had a relatively high arable land to resource count. We will fire the people in the dyes plantation because these are having trouble employing anyways, so they'll just switch over to the sugar. But a lot of these we have incorporated. I think we're incorporating here. Not here, here, here. This is already incorporated. And the heuristic is if they have resources, we're not really incorporating them because we want the throughput bonus on the resources. And we don't really need to incorporate more states right now. Of course, we are floating a lot of excess bureaucracy, so we kind of can. We are increasing police quite a bit, which will use a lot of this bureaucracy. So it's going up. Yeah. I suppose I generally like Social Security at the next notch up. Dependent enfranchisement will help drive consumption, so this will be nice. But we're already paying a good amount in welfare. I guess it's starting to become not as good amount. I wouldn't mind just paying out a huge chunk of that to welfare, because we're already running minimal taxes. We will be coming off of some of our consumption taxes as well. Really wish you could declare wars when you have negative uprisings, though. Like... This is a mechanic that seems kind of broken in terms of, like, look, the British would not pump the brakes for a native uprising is what I'm saying. Saying there's a lack of realism here. I've thought about, I don't want to delete these, but I've thought about pumping them up because we'll just have such a large population here anyways. We fully expanded all the farms, though. In theory, we could delete some and rebuild some the way we want them. I see we put in some barracks, too. Do we have generals for some of these places? We do not have a general for our North India HQ. I didn't realize... Oh, yeah, okay. Now I remember building that up. And our Oceania HQ, which I don't think we want built up. So let's take a look. Who's got the barracks? We're getting fired. Who's got the barracks? You're getting fired. Where is our Oceania HQ barracks? Here? Okay, we gotta look like a different way. Because they got the same PMs as us, so it's... Gujarat's intentional, so is South Cameroon. Really don't like all these like 5s and 10s. I think I'm just gonna delete everything that's under a 10. Just to... Not because I really want to make the army smaller, but just so rolling through this like takes less time. And now we will be going up to 10k construction. Alright, so then we will expand in, I think, Midlands. We'll send you up to 50, and then Lancashire will send you up to 50, which I think is an overall expansion of the military. We can now research another tech. We want to go back to this compression ignition, and then we can... I'm going to put the increase to construction in the back of the queue. I'm actually doing this more for the memes, I guess. but we will increase it all over there in the home territories, and then we will increase it in Buenos Aires and, you know, these other areas we've decided to incorporate. I think it's... no, it's Niger Delta. We're incorporating Gujarat. That's going to take forever, though. Okay. Ooh. One of the reasons we pulled off of wealth voting is it's easier to maintain a righteous government. We're now righteous once we put in universal suffrage. It's easier to maintain a righteous government as long as you have whoever wins the vote in power than it is with wealth voting. Wealth voting does give the 100 authority, not too big a deal. But what this allows us to do is that... wealth voting was preventing people from voting with the wealth threshold, but we basically passed the point where, like, in terms of our standard of living, so everyone could vote anyways, and so it wasn't keeping the interest group power, like, the place we wanted it. I believe it creates a new equilibrium when you swap, because all of our clout is basically the same, but I believe that the clout will change quite a bit, you know, depending on your voting laws. Spain wants a trade agreement? I mean... maybe we could get them into our market and get them as a puppet. We did want to start damaging relations with Occitania, and we do have enough Diplo to do that. And let's take a look at Spain. I guess we start bankrolling them, because we should be able to customs union them as soon as we get... yeah. Well... we have to get our relationship better first. Galicia wants a trade agreement. Are they offering us an obligation? No. They're almost willing to just jump in the customs union for free. We have an absolutely huge economy, so anyone who's in our market benefits quite a lot from, you know, very cheap consumer goods. You know, clothes are really cheap. Furniture is pretty cheap. These types of things. Grain's relatively cheap, but our people don't consume most of the grain. Most of the grain is getting consumed by other people in our market. Our people, if we look at even the lower strata, okay, they're buying grain, but where is it? It's all the way down here. It's only 3.7% of their expenditure. We're spending a lot more on groceries. Which it looks like the groceries are auto-building at the queue, and we do need to try and keep up with the queue, so... oh, it's just these couple places. I guess we'll just add quite a bit of groceries in a lot of places. Actually, if we just add one, we can see which places in the home countries are not currently 51ing auto-expanding it, and we will switch that over. And we'll make sure that they are auto-expanding. And this way, it'll make it a little bit easier on us. Oil, caution. And people love us so much, they're putting off fireworks. I thought I saw the fireworks. I'm not sure exactly what triggers the fireworks. Maybe it was in here? Oh, that's not fireworks. That's construction. Okay, fair enough. But it looks like we're gonna zap through the Congo pretty quick here, though. And colonize everything. Jeez. The Mondays are starting to take a little hot minute. We get the Yakata Uprising. Which is, again, not a big deal, but it will make it so we can't start any new wars. So we're actually just completely bricked out of wars. I guess we'll just all these people uprising us, and we just quickly take all the Congo? I suppose? Let's make sure that we are establishing colonies everywhere. We are. And let's take a look at our industry and try and auto-expand. Well, that doesn't need auto-expansion. These have a few going, so we'll put 20 down in Ulster because they have excess peasants. I'm just looking for places where there's a 1. Like, for example, Ulster and the textile mills. Wales. Put more in Ulster. Although we do have a ton of groceries coming in. Now, I think for the most part, we kind of have a trade route down that we want. But we could take a quick look and see about fish, because we are putting down a ton of, yeah, not much to be had here. We are putting down a ton of, grocers, so that will increase the demand. There is a Council Republic movement. I mean, I'd hate to ditch Victoria now. She's so well loved. I mean, maybe it's also time. If we go Council Republic, though, this nukes the Industrialists. The Industrialists disappear, but we're not getting their bonus anyways. And we wouldn't mind having a come up on the rural folk. Now, this has a bunch of other effects. We would lose entirely our investment pool growing. So this, let's call it 3.5 million. We would lose that. And instead, you know, the people would own the... I mean, we could switch. We do want to go anarchy. I'm not sure if our economy can quite support it. I mean, we would just increase taxes, but this would lower our legitimacy. But our legitimacy would be higher with Council Republic than it would with monarchy. Looks like we see our construction coming up quite a bit here, as well as needing a lot of power plants. I'm like really hating building the power plants right now because I know Ontario's on the chopping block. We're looking to get Ontario. This is going to be the next war we declare. We're going to take Canada no matter what, and we will get Ontario, the state, which is a state. I think, I'm not sure how many there are that give you this thing. And by this thing, sorry, I mean, so just real quick, why we want Ontario is for the Niagara Falls 20% building electricity throughput bonus. So we're just going to build up to like 1K, you know, electrical things. We'll probably take everyone else off auto expand and just have only electricity out of there. Annex to Swana. Sorry if I massacred the pronunciation, although I also massacred the people there, so I guess sorry about that as well. Not sure which one of these will be more profitable. Probably long-term livestock ranches, so we'll set that on auto-expand. And we'll look to... I don't know what we want here. Sugar eventually will be hard to get. We do want to make some places make cotton. We don't have too much coffee places. Why don't we do coffee? And then here... We haven't expanded dyes too much. Dyes are really profitable. We'll do dyes. We'll do dyes here as well. Of course, our people only want one thing, and it's fucking tea. So I guess here we'll do tea. I'm just expanding once, clicking it on auto-expand so that hopefully down the line this will be nice for keeping our queue going. These people are willing to capitulate here. I don't know what we want here. Probably dyes, I guess. We'll just put 5 down. Sure. Annex Cuba. Fine with this. And now we just have the one play. Now, unfortunately, because this play is here, we cannot declare war. Otherwise, we would want to annex Canada. We cannot start a diplo play. We success path for liberalism. So this is really good because if I recall correctly... Okay, wait. The next event is really good. Oh, we would love to change this guy to something else. I think we want him as... Let's see. Do we want him as this, or do we want him as a reformer? I guess we want him as a radical. And then... Now... Oh, this nuked our legitimacy? How'd that happen? It was better when he was a pacifist? Well, we could probably take these out and be fully legitimate, so we're probably going to do that. That's unfortunate. We were enjoying... But, see, if we take the royal folk out, they will be less happy with us. That should hurt their loyalty a little bit, I think. Yep, it does. But I guess this is fine. We're now righteous, so we will develop, you know, more loyalists relative to radicals. A lot of this is off the back of this stupid building, which shouldn't be in the game, but it gives you plus 220 legitimacy, and is modified by the throughput of colonial exploitation. Okay, we get this. The thought, the word, and the ideal. We can get Arts Academy throughput or University throughput, and it triggers open arms. We get open arms. And this event is really strong. It happens in the home countries. You get teeming shores permanently with 25% migration attraction. Nuts. I don't know why you would ever pick this over that. We get it. So now if we take a look here, I believe it just applies only to the home countries itself. The migration attraction is getting plus 125%, even though it's minus 52% from overpopulated. If we take a look here, I'm pretty sure teeming shores... Oh, all the places get teeming shores? That's nuts. So this event is just very strong. You know, the liberalization path. We can go socialism. We probably will. What do we need for freedom of trade? We need to increase the number of trade routes by 25%. I guess we'll just do this to do this. We get telephone switchboards. We really don't need to turn that on. We'll try and import... Ooh, that's a nice import route. Can't import that. And we are just trying to proc the event by increasing our trade routes. We probably can import, yeah, fruit from a lot of people. Dahomey. Morocco. Is it 25% more yet? No. Probably import sugar from a fair amount of people. Wide? Probably as well. Is there a progress thing? We gotta increase a lot of trade routes. We already had a lot. That's unfortunate that we had so many. Anything that's profitable, basically. We're gonna be... Probably a lot of profitable meat. Yeah, there is. I'm gonna take a pause because we need to fill up our queue a little bit. Coffee. Fish we've already looked at somewhat recently. Now, what's cheap in our market and can we export it? Wow. I guess since we have like unlimited bureaucracy and it takes like no convoys to export these things, we'll just export to like every market we can. Look at this lag. It's because we have so much construction. I think if we zoom out, it's not as bad. That should get freedom of trade, I think. Can also export now. Oil's cheap. We might have to turn on some of the PMs. It's just, we'll have to turn them off eventually. Wow, we're not exporting to Qing and Prussia. Okay, we need to be exporting to these big guys. This is actually a mistake. We should be exporting to these guys. Because clothing is like something you want to build up really high because you can get a lot more cotton. That should trigger it. And we get Marketplace of the World. Yay! Sell, 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 I think. That's what we want to do. Plus exports per level, which is going to make our industries really, really profitable. And so, Probably gonna have to do some of this action. Now, one nice thing about the slow incorporating territories, let's say, that's, yep, resolved our construction problem. Now, this place will be, even though we're slowly incorporating them, because it's gonna 20 years slow, they will have a just absolute massive bonus because they also benefit from colonial exploitation all the way until they're fully incorporated. So in theory, you could abuse this just by juggling incorporation to get some of the benefits of incorporation without getting all the benefits of incorporation. Once she dies, we will trigger this Path to Socialism event. You know, what we need to do is just get, well, it might just trigger if, like, this guy dies and becomes, you know, one of the communist things, which is fairly probable thing to happen. Industrialists still mad at us. Come on, guys. Can't we just get along? Echoes of the Revolution. Really don't mind them getting popularity. And also, probably put them back in government again. Yep, can. Because now they're all radical, so it's all very coherent. So we'll do that. Of course, this war is going to end soon, and we will get Canada. We only want one thing, and it's fucking Canada. It's actually just specifically Ontario, but... we did the forbidden thing. We zoomed in on where we have all of our industry expanding. These, of course, will get way more profitable as well as we finish a bunch of clothing things. So why don't we just put a smattering in there? And then have a look-see. If we... yeah, we'll need more dyes. So we'll set this on auto-expand. And then let's take a look and try and play a little whack-a-mole here. What? None of you guys are having infrastructure problems? Are we just on the wrong lens? I'm not sure I buy that. I guess it's true. Now let's take a look at poor Australia. Showa have started damaging relations with us. Okay, well, we didn't like you anyway. I think Showa is one of the little Ethiopian countries. Yeah, it is. They don't like what we're doing in the Congo, I guess. Now, as soon as this war ends, we have to try and be as fast as possible about declaring another war, because we can get another, you know, native uprising, which is going to be annoying. Wow, Iraq wins the succession. Interesting. We're going to just take a quick look through who we're bankrolling and who we're trying to protectorate. They won't accept. Sokoto won't join our customs union. Philippines also will not join. Japanese, we're trying to protectorate. Are they within 50? No, they're not. I wish it would, like, show you in such a... Ooh. Why can't we protectorate you? Because Italy is not at peace. Got it. So once they finish that war, we can protectorate Italy, which will be nice. It's a meatball. Are expecting company. By company, I mean me and I am expecting company somewhat soon, so can't drag on too long with this episode. Although we can probably hit 10k construction here. So, yeah, just making sure we checked everyone. Yeah, we checked everyone. So let's expand construction in the areas we have incorporated. Now, do we have Koreans incorporated? No. You can actually tell because we know we only built industry in incorporated states. We can just look at all the states that have industry. We are going to incorporate a couple states in Canada, so... and, you know, we're not floating as much bureaucracy. We are floating quite a bit of bureaucracy. And we have the telephones we can turn on at any point. Of course, it would probably be optimal. I'm just not doing this because it's inconvenient, but just to explain, it's probably optimal to swap some of these back to filing cabinets. It doesn't fire anyone, it uses less goods, and it would, you know, make it so we're not paying extra for this bureaucracy that we're floating. And then we could swap up as we wanted. But I'm just trying to keep this construction queue going, while staying unpaused, so, which again is not an efficient thing to do. You just, in theory, should pause, but... Industry group leader retires. Leader of the armed forces, and he dies. Yep. Everyone who... I wish that it was not so grim that people could retire without dying. And I feel like it shouldn't tell you that they retire and die, but we will recruit a new general. Yeah, he was quite a big boy. So we could recruit one person who's going to be small here. And what's your ideology, my friend? You're an abolitionist. That's fine with us. So we're going to recruit you here, and we'll keep you relatively small. This guy's pretty good, charismatic, and brave. And then we'll take another look. We're going to recruit the traditionalist, and then we're going to fire him. And just to get a new reroll. The petite bourgeoisie, sure, he's charismatic, fine. England HQ. We will promote this guy. This guy's English as well. We can promote him. He's a moderate. Do we want to promote this guy instead? He's a pacifist. I guess we would prefer the moderate. For a second I thought we didn't have a war. I was like, oh man, very excited. Tools are auto-expanding a bit, so we'll, you know, kick up a couple levels. Okay, we just try and keep this going. Ooh, shipyards are expanding. We will let the shipyards just auto-expand on their own. We don't have electronics industries, so we actually can't turn up, I thought we could turn on phones, but we don't. We can't because we don't have the industries for it. We will check in kind of the home territories for any of this. Yeah, we find some. We are putting, we are solving the infrastructure problem and then adding additional infra. We probably won't have to check that, like, Northern South America thing again, because it's all unincorporated, and I assume it's all the natural resources are all the way expanded out. Let's take a look at the Aussies. They're doing okay. So let's expand some of the resources that are primarily in Australia. We know Queensland in there, so that might cause a problem, but that's fine. Lots of logging. It is expensive. We'll expand all these maximally as well, because people want groceries. This will cause infrastructure problems. Or we can fully expand Transvaal and then add a rail there, I think. Glacia wants a defensive pack. No way, no how. So we can push them towards Industrialists, which we might want to do if they are... Let's see how close they are, because so the ideological differences of the government are quite large. We'll just give them a little nudge in the right direction, which uses our obligation, I believe. A nudge in the right direction, if you will. Come on, give up. You're fully occupied. Really also wish full occupation just auto-won the war. We've fully occupied all of the opponents. And yet we have to wait. Not a long time, but we do have to wait, and it is a bit of a... These are the features I really wanted to see in 1.2, because I do want to do a world conquest, but we can't do it with the current situation with the amount of wars we can declare. And Ottomans reject our success, our thing. Galatia wants some more stuff from us. Will you just join the customs union, my guy? No, you won't. Yeah, no. Our people could read good. Get it? Yeah. Come on, give up. The war's over. Full steam ahead. We break for no one in regards to our construction. I don't think we're incorporating any of this territory. We can take a quick look. Yeah, we didn't, it would incorporate nicely, but they just have so much natural resources that we would rather introduce the natural resources. First, we don't really need more incorporated territory. We definitely don't need that. Send them to the mines. Sorry, Australians. Didn't mean it. I do have some Australian viewers. It's always like, I don't know. As an American, of course, I'm so, what's it, ethnocentric, national-centric? I forget the exact language to use, but, like, I forget, like, in terms of, like, media representation, like, when you watch, like, American news, it's like, it doesn't cover the rest of the world at all, so, like, it's, like, always just feels like, wow, someone's from another part of the world? That's crazy, whenever someone mentions it. We'll give a 7.5 infamy. We don't care that we're going to go over 25, but we're just going to take a quick look here. If we can do anything, like if we can protectorate people or this type of stuff with all of our bankrolls. And I'm guessing we can't, but we're just taking a quick look because we will be going over 25. Oh yeah, we wanted to protectorate them, but we can't now because their government changed ideologies and they're still in a war. We can, I guess we take a look. Yeah, we're not close enough. Persia, are we close enough? No, we're not. I think they're mad at us. Yep. They're defending the borders too. So we will just annex them. Really wish there was a mobilize all and move all to front. We will just move to 200 stacks, I think. Call it a day. And not really expecting anyone else to join, but they might join. They should be minus 75 fearful. They do have gold reserves, so this war can actually pop off, but really just expecting it back down. Not expecting too many people to want to join, but we are infamous, so I guess maybe we might get it. They are rivals. Actually, almost certainly someone will join, considering we're rivaling all the people who can. Which is a bit unfortunate. I don't want this war to go through. I'd rather they just back down, give us Canada, and then we can be off on our way. You know, annexing more subjects, but whatever. Also, it would just be a nice cap to the episode, you know. Putting down native uprisings and taking Canada. Although if you're from Canada, hearing that might hurt. The natives of Canada were not treated all that well. Not that I'm an expert on such matters, but that is my understanding. We can also stop damaging relations in order to refund some of our Diplo. Probably maybe want to cancel some of these bankrolls that we just don't think we're going to ever... Like, yeah, I don't think we're going to Diplo get these guys in into being a protectorate, so we can just stop bankrolling them. Oh, we were trying to get them in our customs union is what we were trying to get. And we only need an obligation to pull them in. Okay, fair enough. Now, how's this 0? Okay. I was like, how's it 0 with one of our guys on it? That's insane. It was just because they left the front. Oh, we have so many loyalists. We're approaching the cap of 15. that you can get from having plus approval on loyalty for the Industrialists, which is like part of what's keeping the Industrialists from absolutely hating our guts right now. Yeah, they're not a fan of the change to universal suffrage. Not a fan at all. They would actually be happy. They're going to be happy with us once this decay finishes. And so maybe we actually want to try and keep them above 18% here. Austria sides with Canada. You'll love to see it. We will now mobilize all. I don't think we have a front with Austria, but we're going to put in war goals to, you know, liberate some countries here. We will, of course, for our Romanian viewers, we will liberate Transylvania. And then, for the practical speaking, in order to destroy them as much as possible, the biggest one to release is Hungary. After this, they should not be a great power, so this is the only ones we want to release from them. United States sides with them as well. I don't think we want to liberate anyone from the United States. I think the United States are already not a great power, and so we're just going to want war reps from these two, in addition. I guess we'll just take war reps just from the US right now, in case a third person joins and we want to release a nation from them. We will put additional guys on these fronts so that the big boys can leave. And go somewhere else. Also in case they get bugged out, I guess. Which happens. Do not think this war goes through, but this is two great powers in on us. Yeah, they're only worried this war is going to go through. We should... Let's make sure we have all the generals we need recruited. North Sea HQ. I forget the way to check. So, not garrisoned. Auburn Reed. So we're going to go to Auburn Reed and just promote him. The pacifist petite bourgeoisie. Interesting. And we're going to add... I don't think these get added in time, but we're just going to add 20 at the front of the queue. Maybe this is going to make them back down. By 20, I mean 30, because I can't count. Feels bad, man. Feels bad, man. Social Security gets increased to 2. This should increase... wow, we're actually losing money now? Wild. It's because our investment pool fully drained. This is fine. Said everyone ever when... yeah. Just try to play a little bit of whack-a-mole here. Do need a little bit more in Queensland and a little bit more here. I, of course, will not be just putting some ahead of time in here because it's unincorporated territory, so eventually I will just hit the max amount of railroads I want in that place. Let's go look at resources. Lead is expensive. We will fully expand it. We'll expand the sulfur mines a little. And rubber is dirt cheap in our market. Not enough of it's getting used, but we can expand this stuff a little bit. You know, try and keep the construction queue going. We will have to play whack-a-mole in the Pacific Islands, which is kind of my least favorite ever. I will put in a port, because I don't know how close these guys are to capped. I know as a general heuristic I want to be on railroads instead of ports, but these guys will reach their kind of cap pretty quick. Let's take a look at Navy. Maybe we should expand the Navy a little bit. The Baltic HQ. Ooh, where are the Baltic? Oh, okay. You want to delete the Navy we have here. Gotta do it like that, huh? There's 1 and 1 somewhere else. It's gonna be the last friggin' place I check. It wasn't. This would have been the last. Maybe we... I don't know where we want to expand it. I think I like the idea of... I believe this is our incorporated state that's like kind of the farthest from everything, so I kind of like the idea of... Or we're working to incorporate it. It's not incorporated yet. Maybe creating naval bases here. That does fill up our queue quite nicely. Now we have to find the person from this HQ. I always forget the heuristic for doing this, but apparently this is it. So we click on the garrison when we're in the military lens, I believe we're in. Maybe we're not. And then we see who's not garrison is Charles George Gordon. Talk about 3 first names. And we're just going to promote him. Because we know we're putting in more troops there. So he will just be leading more troops once he gets up and going. Looks like Canada has 200 coming in and 212 coming in, so this is where I guess the brunt of the fighting will be occurring. I see some auto-queued boom booms, so I guess we will expand those manually, and we'll just go through and we'll just look for areas that are expanding already. It's kind of a quick heuristic. And, we will need more shipyards given what we are doing. Okay, we already fixed that. Oh, keeping up with the queue decently, although we are speed 2ing it. And we get an uprising, which is okay. So let's take a look here. I think we have a lot of guys. Well, we have just this 19 stack, so we will move him over to the uprising. And he can take care of it. In theory, maybe we should use the guy who's in the Niger Delta HQ, but this is probably too deep, because it's harder for him to get cut off from supply when he's from the HQ that's like nearest. So in theory, you should juggle things that way a little bit. Looks like this war is going to go through, though. Let's take a quick look. Alright, so... Oh, we cannot add war goal. Oh, well. Not a big deal. We would have just added war reps from Austria. But now it'll be easier to piece out... Or no, it won't be easier to piece out Austria, because we have kind of big war goals on them. I will... I think... Raid convoys here. I want to hit someone that has both. Is there a way to hit both the US and... Yeah, there is US and Austria, so we'll raid convoys there. And then we're going to use this big boy to navally invade in Austria, I think. But once this war pops off, I think we will be concluding the episode. Or we will be waiting to see if it does pop off. This will be the biggest war we've fought in quite some time. I think we want... It's been a while since we've expanded coal. Let's make sure everything's auto-expanding in regards to the rural stuff. That we want auto-expanding at least. Path to socialism. I think it's interesting we have this Federate Australia journal entry where we've annexed Australia. We're also going to take that one out. Alright, so first and foremost, we're going to land just a tiny party on the District of Columbia with Ambrose Drawwing. Hopefully that's not the guy from down here. I'm gonna double check, it's not. It was a guy from that front, so that kind of hurts, but these guys should be able to hold it down in New Africa, and then we will navally invade here. I think Istria's the softest. It's either Istria or Dalmatia, I can't remember which. But we'll send our biggest, baddest guy. Which, of course, hurts the Canadian front quite a bit, but this is fine. And we will call it an episode here. So what we have done this episode is we've expanded construction up to 9K. And we also just put down a lot of native uprisings in the Congo. The Congo is filling in quite nicely. You know, we're painting in the map here. We will probably take Oranhe earlier than optimal, just to have a nicer looking border. Doing really well on all fronts. Look at all these loyalists, man. So good. But yeah, if you enjoyed, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, you know, and have a good day.